What type of dog is this?
Dark Souls 2.
Dark Souls 2.
Dark Souls 2 bosses are interesting.
They are. Let's just get right into it. The Rotten. I kind of like the Rotten.
I fucking love the Rotten. I almost want to put him in A.
Me too. But it's
He's actually kind of close. He's like the same breed of design as Stray Demon, Asylum Demon, like those kind of
Kinda.
homies.
Yeah,
Yeah, except he's
kinda
just like a nasty butcher conglomeration.
yeah, he's almost kind of like a retooled adjudicator.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah. Except with a more regular, you know.
Yeah, what a design.
He looks cool though too. I really like
Yeah.
his like it almost seems too obvious to just have a man made out of smaller bodies. I don't know why that's obvious, but it is to me. But his shape, like his silhouette and his presentation with the little dolls and like the little statues and stuff, is pretty cool. I like
Yeah, the level following up to him that's like,
that.
I love that area.
Oh my god.
The level is so fucked. It's one of the most fucked levels they've ever made.
It's just ridiculous. It's like it's
So
like,
good.
like you can play it like a regular Souls level, but you're doing yourself a disservice. I think it's better to just think of this level as another bed of chaos
Wacky.
and just run the fuck through it and hope you make it.
Yeah, it's From Software's wacky event, poison shooting statue adventures.
Indeed.
And that's what makes it fun. I love that area, and the design of the little swamp dudes that like pop their heads out.
I'm gonna say something that could be controversial,
Uh
but that area is the Skrillex of poison swamps.
huh. That's pretty good.
Don't ask how, it just is.
Yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I don't know why I wanted to whip out the oh, what? When he said that. But yes.
It's applicable.
Yeah, it kind of is. It kind of has that just. That's all I can say.
Indeed.
Right.
Execution or Chariot? I really want to put him in A. I really do.
I have the courage.
I think that horse fight is at the end is not very fun.
It's the horse fight at the end. I feel like it's just like a little cap. It's not necessarily what I am there for. Really,
It's the
I
whole thing about it.
absolutely adore. It's a straight up like amusement park design.
That's a good
of a
point.
fight.
It's fucking Haunted Mansion in there, dude.
It really is. Like you're running around. There's a ghost horse that's on your trails, and then you have to fight the skeletons, and then the guys that respawn the skeletons. Like, what a I absolutely adore that. That is so up my alley in terms of like what I want from like the design of these games, and it's really like one of the epitomes of like why I find Dark Souls 2 so enthralling to play.
That's fair enough, man. This is really a shining I think a shining example of like Dark Souls 2's experimentation.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
absolutely.
it's really cool, man. Oh fuck. Dude, it's another. I might have to put it in A. Honest. I really like the aesthetic and I really like the idea, and it's obviously good enough that Miyazaki was like, oh, that sucks. Like everybody hates Dark Souls 2, so let's bring this guy back for Elden Ring. So.
Oh god. Everyone's like, oh, I hate those fucking dungeons. They can fuck off. I love every single one of those dungeons like they were my children.
They're stressful. But
They are
once you-
extremely stressful.
Once you know what to do, though, it's
Yeah, once you get it, you kind of can just run through it. But even then, what I love about it is replaying some of those dungeons. When you get confident, that's usually also when you make really dumb mistakes and you get greedy, and they just punish you every single time. Like, and they don't like other enemies. Like they have like a soul. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you die to them, they keep attacking. They're like, yeah, fuck you. But the chariots, they just keep charioting.
Yeah, dude. Also, dude, the guy like driving the chariot, like he has big, like he would be like, like that kind of guy. So that gets him a lot of points.
Yeah, honestly, I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
Skeleton lords.
Skeleton lords. Put him in B.
I'm almost tempted for A. This is like a very. I'm trying to think what other times they've done this, because I know Bloodborne has a very similar fight to this. That's really good too, where it's 3 enemies with like different kinds of, or 3 different kinds of attacks. I love just like how skeleton of a skeleton fight this is.
Dude, it is. Well, as someone who has
Is it the rolling? Is it the rolling skeletons? I think. Oh yeah, they summon different kinds of skeletons
Yeah.
too. I think.
Yes, each one summons.
Oh, that's so good.
It is.
I love this fight.
What this is actually a boss straight from Kingsfield, like literally
Oh shit.
straight out of Kingsfield. Except they made 3 of them, each with like unique elements to them, which is cool. And I liked it in Kingsfield, and I like it in Dark Souls 2.
Nice.
Yeah, man, it's skeletons summoning more skeletons. What do you want?
Yeah, it's. I mean, you can't go wrong with that design philosophy in any way.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's fun.
All right, Covetous Demon.
Covetous. Oh, that's an easy S plus.
He really. I'm saving.
I can't
The-
tell
the-
if it's like the best or the worst.
He, well, 1 makes me laugh, and 2 is such a pushover that it's not even. Like, I'm not offended. Like, if a fight makes me feel like engaging with the mechanics is not fun or frustrating, and it has like a bad look, bad design, like bad like aesthetic to it, then I'm considering like F tier. But he's kind of. I mean, he's kind of adorable in a sense because
this
of
picture
how
they picked of him looks like. I mean, he looks like, you know, like, oh, my sweet baby. He's like smiling.
he looks like Baby Shark or Baby
Yeah.
like Jim Carrey the Mask.
Yeah, it really makes you feel more endeared towards him.
Like I would watch a movie called like 3 Dads and a Covetous Demon. 3 dads trying to raise a covetous demon and the wacky adventures they have in New York City.
Well, so I guess like here's like the main question is it's like, obviously it's doesn't have a lot going on fight wise.
No.
And is the fact that it looks like a Jabba the Hutt, a cool like funny, thing, or is it like they just fucking made Jabba the Hutt again? You know, like.
Yeah, they just made a real fucked up looking guy.
Like, did they do it on purpose, or did they run out of ideas and just make Jabba the Hutt?
No, I'm putting
maybe
him in.
we'll never know.
I'm putting him in C tier.
Yeah,
Because
there's something charming
the
about him.
fight is extremely. I mean, it's a very inoffensive fight. It's boring. I mean, it is boring. It's not. You're not in danger, but it's a very.
He's
I don't know,
funny.
there's a special thing to him for sure.
Yeah.
Unlike Mytha, the Baneful Queen.
I don't like Mytha.
I don't like her moveset. I don't like her look,
I don't mind fighting.
and I think I would put her in C. I don't mind fighting her. I think the fight is an okay fight, but she looks kind of lame.
Yeah, well, she does look lame, but her look gets points from me because she was an enemy in Kingsfield. Once again, that's a straight up Kingsfield enemy. They
Oh,
just brought her
interesting.
back and cut her head off, but it's the same thing. So
Oh, cool.
it's kind of fun.
Yeah, the poison mechanic and levels kind of
That's fine.
objectively obtuse and kind of weird, but still okay.
I like it because it's like there. I mean, there is that really obvious, weird chunk of design.
Yeah.
There. And of course, the game is meant to be played online. It's with the first time around, and if you're playing it offline 3 years later, you have the benefit of the internet. I think.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
all the developers know that. So I don't think it's too obtuse. I think it's kind of just like, it's all right. It's just fine.
Yeah, it's okay. That's one that kind of like Iron Golem. Like I think if the fight was a little bit more interesting, I would be more tempted to maybe up it. But fight's okay, inoffensive. There's just some the look of it's kind of meh. So
And there's also the bonus too that once you fight her, you're like, I'm done with this fucking area. Yay.
that is a rough patch for sure.
Dude, I actually, I mean, go off the record here for a minute.
I'm doing it live.
I just was playing Dark Souls 2. Like I was replaying because I wanted to go through Earthen Peak more with a finer tooth comb.
Yeah.
I like the area. I actually like it. I mean, it's definitely really crusty. I mean, it's a lot of what people don't like about Dark Souls 2's aesthetic, kind of rolled into one area. But it's charming. Actually, I felt myself more endeared, more into it than usual. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's all right.
That's like I think definitely part of the appeal of Dark Souls 2 in a weird way is I don't know, it's just every area, like every time I think of an area I'm just like kind of like holds a little special place in my heart. That place kind of holds a special place in my heart despite its flaw. I like that it's flawed. All of these games have like basically like perfect design, and
Yeah.
Dark Souls 2 is perfectly imperfect, and that's kind of interesting because it's perfectly imperfect, but it's also experimental. It's creative. It has highs. It has lows. And I find that really engaging. So
Yeah, I also like that usually in most of the games, like, you see these designs and you're like, it either probably smells like cologne in there or just like metal and air. Whereas you go in Dark Souls 2 and most of the areas probably smell pretty stinky. So.
oh, really bad. Yeah, definitely.
Alright.
Even like the Drain Lake, it's like you think like that looks like it smells like shit too. And it's like a fancy castle.
Yeah, like you're like, oh, this is probably fine. It probably just like smells like rain, and then you go in there and you're like, it's somehow still stinky.
Now that needs to be the next tier list of which ranking tier list, ranking levels by how good or bad they smell.
That is actually that would be a lot of fun.
That would be. All right, Smelter Demon.
Smelter Demon. Kind of want to put him in A. I actually
Ah,
like
I
Smelter
fucking-
Demon.
I love this guy.
He's fun. Like, I think the whole criticism about like, oh, you have to take damage to hit him. It's like, I mean, you're kind of just supposed to back up after you attack. Like, you'll take very just teeny tiny amounts of damage, really.
Yeah. Do that. Use a life gem.
Just use a life
The
gem.
game has, the people. I think that's not really interesting or particularly fun way to look at these games. As if an enemy is, has that like mechanic of constantly doing like a small amount of damage if you're up close to them. I think that's like a really cool design. I think that's interesting. It's different. And it puts pressure on you in different ways,
It makes you rethink the situation.
Yeah, you have to be strategic. You can't now you can't go in like you can't think, well, I have a low amount of health, but I want to keep like hitting him. Like you have to, reconsider like different tactics.
Yeah, dude, maybe you're all out of healing items, but you still want to try to kill this fucker. You might have to bust out like the throwing knives. That's kind of fun.
Yes, yeah, it kind of pushes you and doing things that you wouldn't normally have to do with other fights.
Yes. Although, biggest criticism, he looks like he's from World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that's the only thing keeping him in B tier for me.
He's
It's
a
just
literal asshole.
the look, no, don't make me put it back at 8. Don't
I
let me
know,
put it.
I know that's not negative.
It's not a negative at all. But yeah, his look is pretty generic, despite having an asshole for a face.
Yeah, besides the butthole face, everything else is. It literally looks like World of Warcraft. It's
Yeah,
meh.
which is just how that means bad for anyone listening.
Yeah. World of Warcraft is like one of the few games that I like.
Disgusting.
Yeah, like I just can't get into anything about it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Old Iron
Old
King.
Iron King. See, I feel pretty, and I feel very strongly about his SC status for old. What?
Hold on, I'm still thinking.
You do know what fight this is, right?
I like, dude. I don't know why I like this fight so much. But I just always have fun with it. Like, his moves are so easy to figure out, but I love how easy it is to fall in a little hole of lava. Like, it's not.
I do love that little hole of lava.
It's
That's
not-
the only thing keeping me from like. That's one thing that would push me to like a higher rank from USC is that just the unusual design choice of let's put a little bit of lava.
Like, it's that alone that elevates it above like Mytha for me, because like other than that, it's kind of almost similar, like in terms of being exciting, but it like the fact that it's so kind of just basic and stripped down and doesn't really have like even the guy is just a pretty generic looking demon guy, but it just has this like it just rubs me the right way, I guess.
Yeah.
It's really silly.
Can you rate a tier list? That's just as rubs me the right way.
Every time I fall in that hole, like I have to smile.
Also, Bobby, I just noticed on your screen, dude, are you gonna? Carrie Lake is gonna tackle homelessness.
It's about time, dude. I hope
Dude,
she
she's a
tackles-
hell. She belongs there.
She's gonna personally tackle the homeless and put them in a cart and ship them away. Yay, Carrie Lake. Everyone get out
Yeah.
there and vote. For
Fuck that.
Scorpioness Najka.
Yeah, this is a not a good fight.
And also not too dissimilar from Carrie Lake.
She's the Carrie Lake of Dark Souls 2, for
I
sure.
fucking hate this fight. I hate it.
It's not a good one.
I hate
I-
this fight, dude.
I don't actively dislike fighting her, which is why she's in D, but pretty much everything else is pretty bad. I think I like the fact that she digs herself under the terrain, pops up, and then they have like that one little area you can kind of stand on where you're protected from it.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that you can summon a fellow Scorpion person to kill her. So you don't get to summon a lot of Scorpion people in these games, so
Oh, yeah.
that's a plus.
Yeah, but that's more to do with like Dark Souls 2's like more I like how it had like a lot more like weird things you could do. You know, like with the statues and like you have to wear the ring to be able to talk to that guy, and like the ring doesn't say what it does. I mean, it kind of does, but like you wear it and it makes weird ass sounds when you're not near something. Like I don't know, that's all cool, but Scorpius Najka, it's just fucking Quelaag with a scorpion body.
Yeah, straight up.
Like, goddamn, dude.
Almost put it in doesn't count.
It's really bad.
Yeah, it's not a good point. Dark Souls 2. I think that's I would imagine relatively agreed upon. Scorpion Nazca is a bad fight.
Yeah, her only bonus point is that her name is similar to one of the vampires from What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, nice. I like your name actually.
Yeah, that's
Scorpioness, Royal Rat Authority.
It's just not very fun. Like it's extremely drab to find. It's anticlimactic. I mean, I like when things poison you, but it's just like more stinky rats. It's not like a special rat, you know.
Yeah.
And the fight itself is very similar to like a less good Sif.
Oh, it's definitely a less good Sith. I don't know. The last time I fought him, I actually had fun. I remember, like, because this is kind of another one, along with, like, Covetous Demon, and this is, like, one of the more infamous fights in the game, for sure. People that, you know, criticize this one a lot for being, like, one of the worst fights in Dark Souls 2. But I still have fun fighting him every time. The arena's good. I like how he's a very fucked up boy. He's a very fucked up looking guy.
I think he could have used. being
Doesn't look
even
like a
more fucked
dog
up,
quite.
honestly.
Yeah, he is it like he's not a rat. He's not quite a dog.
Well, it's a rat. It's an attempt to make a dog frame look like a rat.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the right answer. They were just like, take Sif's Sif's character model, how do like try to make it look like a rat, and like, oh, it looks kind of fucked up. It's like, well, that's kind of alright, I guess, and they put it in the game.
Yeah, it's I mean,
The arena's so good. Why is the arena so cool?
the arena is great. I think
Yeah, it's awesome.
that's one of the reasons it's not in like even in C's, because it's like this arena is really cool and it's just you in here. What the fuck?
Yeah, and I do love the rats in Dark Souls 2 as well. Like as a covenant, I think
Yeah.
the fact that you can just hang out with the rats and they're actually like the more like ethical covenants is really funny.
Yeah, that's really great.
Yeah. Prowling me, I guess, in the congregation.
You know, it's a mob fight, but it's just so boring, you know.
Yeah, it's like one of the most boring fights in Dark Souls 2.
It's yeah, it's
Like you
don't
can
even,
really
don't even
I mean,
stop
you
to
meet-
get a beverage. Just walk through.
Yeah, and that's why it's not an F tier, just because it's just so easy. You just walk on by and they don't do much, but
It's not horribly offensive.
no, not at all. But it's also uninspired and
Just blah.
yeah, it like there's nothing really challenging or interesting about it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Last
The
time.
Last Giant. So this is the what most people would play as the first fight in Dark Souls 2, besides Dragon Rider.
Yes.
This is actually kind of tough.
It is hard because it's not bad, honestly, for a first fight. For like a, because is there a
I put him in C tier.
yeah, I mean it's kind of fun to like kill with your fists, you know. Like if for a challenge run, Last Giant, that's fun, but yeah, it's just all right.
I definitely really like the story behind the Giants, and I like the fact that you go back in the past and fight him, and then you see him again in the present, but that's the beginning of the game.
Oh,
That's the first fight.
wait, what? He's supposed to be the king?
Lord, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. Fighting, like, and that's why when he sees you, he's so fucking pissed. He literally wakes up from the dead to fight you because he's so pissed off.
that. That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, and I like the fact he tears his arm off. His look is jank as hell.
He is the
It's
first giant to
like a
tear their
cutscene.
limb off.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes.
Hmm.
And whacks you with it, which is really cool.
That's right.
But he's just not a fun fight. Just slashing his feet a lot. Does the stomp. Does the like kind of like arm like circle like attack. And that's about it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Duke
That's it.
Steer Freya.
I want to put it in B, but it's for some reason I just don't have a lot of fun fighting it usually.
I had more fun than I remember not liking it that much, but the last time I fought Duke Steer Freya, I was like, I really like the spider fight, actually. I like it's a two-sided fight. I like the having the torch, all the extra like spider enemies, they won't attack you if you have a torch, like kind of limiting yourself to like get a hand up on it.
Uh-huh.
The arena sick too, actually. I remember.
Yeah, the arena's pretty cool, and I mean, if it used the laser attack, maybe I'd like it more.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it only uses it once for it, sometimes it doesn't use it at all, and it's like kind of my favorite element of this fight.
Definitely.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'm gonna put it in C.
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay, Twin Dragon Riders.
Twin Dragon Riders.
Twin Dragon Riders.
Oh yeah. That's right.
C.
I would put them in C too. I just have fun fighting them.
If they had a better arena, a little bit more health, maybe one more move, they could easily be B. But it's just a little bit underdone, I think.
Yeah, I like definitely am a fan of like one being an archer, attacking you from then, and then he can
Yeah.
break the like thing that he's on,
That's fun.
and yeah, he takes way more damage than his counterpart, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
The Dragon Riders, they just needed like if they were just like maybe a little bit even just like the same moveset but faster. 'Cause they do feel
Yeah.
very they feel clunky or like just well no, not clunky, just slow, just really slow.
Yeah, like they need unique armor. You know, like if they made this exact fight with just like unique looking entities that even did the exact same thing, but maybe had like a second phase, it would be B or maybe even A. But as it is, it's just Twin Dragon Riders. Slam on
Yeah.
through it and keep going.
Oh buddy, oh I love this fight.
Looking Glass Knight, I mean, obviously aesthetically, I mean, there's a whole fucking game, that game Blasphemous, that's based on just this, seemingly.
It just took that look and ran with it.
Yeah, like it's a really cool look.
I think he would be an S. I think if he was maybe a little bit more fun to fight, he is somebody that benefits from being online though, because the fact that
Yes.
another player can fucking bust out his mirror
That's the best.
shield is so cool, and his arena
Yeah.
is like so next level.
Dude, literally all he needs is a second phase for offline players. That's it.
Yeah.
And you'd be
That would be
nice.
it. Easy. Oh man, he's so close. Yeah, what a amazing design for a knight.
Yeah, and also the placement again at the top of Drang Lake, very
Mhm.
cool, very moody. It really accentuates
Very cool.
Yeah, it really accentuates Dark Souls 2's take on the Souls atmosphere, which I really like.
Yeah.
Demon Song.
Demon Song. I'm gonna put this weird little guy in B.
Me too.
He's just such a weird little guy.
It's not for the fight even. You know, fight is whatever. It's just I don't know, man. Like you hear the song and you go in there and you see him and there he is. It's fun. I don't know. Especially
Yeah,
at the
it
end
is.
of this whole fucking area, it's nice to get a little bit of a break in terms
Yeah.
of difficulty anyway.
Yeah, I think if this guy was like a really tough fight, I mean, people would just stop playing Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, they're
'Cause, I mean, I love Shrine of Romana's like might be in like my top 10 favorite Souls levels because I will stand up for Dark Souls 2 like it's my child. But a lot of people don't like that area, and he's a relatively easier fight. He has a really cool design, cool arena, and it makes sense for an easier fight to be at the end of like one of the most punishing levels in Dark Souls 2.
yes.
It's just a weird fucking guy. I love it.
Dude, you know, I remember when we were in like 8th grade or something, you took an art class and you had to make some sort of like pottery and like you made this face on the side of it, and that's what it looked like. It looked like the Demon of Song.
Oh, I love that face. Yeah.
It was great. It's
Dude,
fantastic.
that face actually kind of looked like the Green Knight.
Yeah,
think
it
of
kind
it.
of looked like the Green Knight too.
Yeah, because I remember I think you had the idea of like branches coming out of his like eye sockets. That was awesome. Yeah,
That was-
that was a good time.
It's a good memory.
8th grade art class. What an era.
That was the peak of my entire life, and now I make YouTube. Now I'm like here, ranking fucking. Anyway, Velstadt.
But the 8th grade art class is like all the memes of like hashtag gifted child now living life. Like that's your version of it.
Yeah, it was literally the second year because like I remember the teacher's like, "What happened to you?" She literally told me. She told me that. I don't know, man.
I don't know, I'm just it's a weird guy.
Yeah.
Weird being. Velstadt the real Aegis. Aegis.
Velstadt.
Aegis.
I've always had a chip on my shoulder about Velstadt, because it's pretty much like his design is very extremely similar to Maiden Estrella's knight, Garl
Yeah.
Vinland.
He actually exists similarly thematically too, as in like a protector of kind of like a helpless being.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. But his fight's I think really easy.
It's really easy.
Which is weird because he's like near the end of the game.
Yeah, if he was a good fight, I could possibly put him higher, but he doesn't have a memorable soundtrack either. And
No.
like it doesn't feel like he fills the shoes of this role well.
Not quite. No, he could have been much more. I mean, the fight is not offensive. It's not like not fun. It could be a little bit more challenging in interesting ways. His design could be more interesting as well. And yeah, especially where he's at in the game and what the reveal is afterwards.
Yeah.
If he was a more interesting fight, that would have been like a really impactful moment for Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, like I would have liked it like yeah, and it needed a lot more to make it what it needs to be. That being said, next up, Vendrick.
I don't feel like I want to rank Vendrick. He's not really a boss in my opinion.
That's true, but you do have to fight him, and and he has a boss like health meter.
You only have to fight him if you
I guess you don't have to fight him, huh?
No, he's not required. No, he's not a required fight.
I always fight him.
I'll put him in B.
I like Vendrick, dude. Like
Yeah?
the music in like this is one of the few moments in Dark Souls 2 that I think really actually hits it out of the park in terms of you know, getting the tone right and setting the mood for the series. I really like Vendrick. Like when you walk in there, because it's freaky, right? Like you're like you beat this boss, you're in this place that already sucks, and you're like, finally my reward at the end of this, and it's dark and horrible in there, and it's like a giant hollow guy, and it's just eternally going in a circle, and the music is just so oppressive and like frightening.
It's almost like if somebody would have walked in on Shinji when he says I'm so fucked up.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
That's what you just walked into.
Yeah, like you're like, oh shit, like that feeling is good.
Vendrick, yeah, I love that actually. He's a bit in I like the mechanic. I know like he has more health or something depending on like certain actions you do in the game. Like if you kill some giants or something, he has less health.
Yeah,
He's easier to kill.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, and he's basically like he's design wise, he's how I kind of imagine a Kingsfield fight is.
Yeah,
I haven't played him.
It's almost like it just is a Kingsfield fight, really.
In terms of like his moveset and like you just have to attack and walk away, attack and walk away.
Yeah, it's yeah, almost indistinguishable.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like Kingsfield, so.
Yeah.
Yay, Vendrick.
Yeah.
Guardian Dragon.
I agree. I think you convinced me like there's enough going on for Vendrick to rank him for sure. I put him in B, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. Guardian
Dragon. I don't like him.
I like the arena a lot. I don't really remember him as like what the fight is like though, and I found him a couple times since I've played Dark Souls 2 a couple times, but the arena is cool as hell. Like it's like a bird cage.
It is, but I think it might be just the worst dragon boss.
It very well may be. It probably is. Well, no, that's actually coming up next.
I actually... Fuck, Ancient Dragon sucks, dude.
Yeah, Ancient Dragon really sucks. Ancient Dragon's like actual, I don't know what you get from fighting him, but I just don't do it because it's not fun. And thank God it's optional.
Yeah. Let's just put Guardian Dragon and Ancient Dragon in there. I put them in D.
That's fair. I put Guardian Dragon in C. I don't remember the fight very well, but that also means it's probably inoffensive, and I just love the arena.
That's a great point. All right.
Yes. The Giant Lord.
I may be outspoken
Lord
on this. I like
Giant?
Giant Lord.
I think Giant Lord is a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, you've been seeing these dead
For
giants.
B.
It's a thematic thing, too.
Yeah, definitely. The whole, like, the entry of, like, the war zone and, like, actually seeing shit when it was actively falling apart is really cool.
It's
So,
really cool. Yeah, the run up, like, in the head rolling, and, like, you've been seeing the dead ones, like, the whole game, and you're like, oh shit, there he is. and he's pretty easy, but there is a chance that he can hit you and just like fling you completely out of the game, which is awesome.
That's great.
So, Giant Lord, he's very cool. He's a standard fight, but he's just really cool.
Yeah. Oh shit, dude! I think we're gonna get into like the real good fights, like pretty much like one after another. There's some absolute garbage in here too, but
Ooh, oh my gosh, yeah, we're in a good area here. Dark Lurker.
Dark Lurker.
I kind of want to make it an S, but it doesn't have
I'm
like.
so tempted to make it an S. It's right there for me.
Yeah, I've only fought it once though. It was very recently, but I feel like it maybe did too much damage. I killed it pretty fast, so I didn't get to see everything it does.
Yeah. Shit, it's such a cool fight. I love the look of this guy. I hate that you have to kind of do some bullshit to fight him, which is
Actually, that
lame.
gets points for me.
That honestly, that's probably that's kind of what's making him not an S for me, honestly.
I like that about him. I like that it's really difficult to
Oh.
find, and like,
Interesting.
and I like that he's at the back of this. Like, it's in the most just like, why the fuck would there ever be a ledge where that ledge is?
There's so much important shit.
Yeah, like, very interesting. Completely dark. It makes you feel like you're in Kingsfield again, which I keep mentioning, but I really like that.
Yeah.
You get like short render distance, which really contrasts well with his white design. So he's kind of like fading in and out of the darkness, which is pretty cool. I really like Dark Lurker. Like he's got like a old school kind of jank that I really appreciate.
Yeah, it's and old school jank, but also I love his look.
Yeah,
Even
his
just like
look.
looking at it right now.
Yeah, he's like Sif from or he's like a Seath from Kingsfield 3 kinda.
Oh.
Very
Oh yeah, I think I've seen clips of that fight, and
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying. And he has 4 arms like Ronnie.
like Ronnie.
He's just like Ronnie, just like me.
Dark Lurker's cool, man.
Yeah, actually, I think Dark Lurker is let's not misgender Dark Lurker in our Dark Souls 2 boss.
Sure,
tier
I
ranking.
would buy whatever drugs they have.
Yes. Which Souls bosses are the best dealers?
Dark Lurker's got some crazy shit too.
Dark Lurker will open up your 3rd eye and your 4th.
It's your ass.
Alright, the Pursuer.
Pursuer. Oh, I almost want to put Pursuer in S too. I fucking love, like, the more you fight Pursuer, the better he gets.
Yeah, he's like the fighting. He is like a perfect representation of the sword and shield, like 3D game fight mechanics, like what Dark Souls is trying to do. What makes Dark Souls like the Souls way of movement, animations, attacks, like
Yes.
what defines the series, and he's just like a really unique pinnacle of that. He's not some over the top like dude, but his moveset is just such a rhythm to it, and I mean, it feels like his moveset feels like you're dancing with him. And I love the fact that Dark Souls 2 and Scholar of the First, and I'm pretty like he does come back in Dark Souls 2 as well. Comes back multiple times, and I like that fight because even though he's the same character, it's that I always like I don't know. I love the motion of his moves and fighting him.
Yeah.
It's a cool night.
Like you know, we talk about the dance, you know, of the Souls
the
game
dance.
sometimes, and Pursuer's dance is brilliant. It's just so fun. Like, you might as well do the Macarena.
Yeah,
Pursuer,
as fun as the Macarena.
at least as fun as the Macarena. Throne Watcher and Defender, poopy butt. I don't like.
I feel like I should like these guys, but
It's like the most.
they're alright.
They're the most forgettable, like, lead up to a final boss you could possibly make. They're just like, who are these people?
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, one of them watches it, and then the other one defends.
Mind if I just watch?
Mind if can I mansplain you to watch your Defender?
One of them watches, one of them defends.
Yeah, that's it. And they're pretty boring, but I'm not offended by their fight.
I'm almost...
But it's also very anticlimactic, which is kind of offensive too.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not, like, anything to say about him, honestly.
No.
Nashandra.
Nashandra, I love how she looks.
She looks really cool, even if it
I
is
like-
a ripoff of H.R. Geiger.
HR what?
Geiger, the alien guy?
Oh yeah. Oh, big time. Yeah, she's kind of straight from that kind of design philosophy, but not a very fun fight. Not
No.
offensively bad or anything. It is, and the fact that it's the end boss. Like honestly,
It's a big
I would almost consider putting her at B if she wasn't like the end boss. Like if she was like an earlier boss, like you kind of like, yeah, she looks cool, like has some like interesting moves and stuff.
Like,
but
dude, if you found
the
her in
fact that
that...
she's the last one is a bummer.
Yeah, if you found her in that cave where Dark Lurker is, that would make sense.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, but as a final boss,
Yeah. She's a really big disappointment. Maybe besides the final boss of Dark Souls 3, maybe the biggest disappointment for a final boss in these games.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Kind of cool lore, though.
And then they released the second version of the game that has an even worse final boss.
Aldia. Aldia gets more points just for being, This guy's also kind of like a Kingsfield boss.
That is true.
But he has dialogue, I mean. He has
Yeah,
good dialogue.
His dialogue, especially the dialogue that's specific to Scholar of the First Sin, is probably like the best writing in some of my favorite writing in all of the Souls games, actually. And I love how interested Dark Souls 2 is in not only revealing its themes, but I don't know, they really go into detail, and it's it's actually quite a poetic game in a lot of ways. Like a lot of the dialogue, a lot of the stories and characters, the themes of dementia basically, but dying, losing, the concept of death. I think it's Aldia says some really amazing stuff, and he's a very interesting character. I love the way he interrupts your game. And the first time that happens, it's shocking. I really like that too.
Yeah, I love how how he pops in, and you're like, oh shit, kind of sets you off, and then he just spits at you. He's mangled tree man. Anyway.
Yeah, he's a mangled tree man.
He's like, what if Socrates got turned into the elephant's foot from Chernobyl?
Yeah.
That's fun.
And actually, I like that theme of, that's another thing that's character that's kind of reflected in one of the stories in Elden Ring 2 with the Carian sorcerer, like the head sorcerers, in Elden Ring, they eventually turn into actual stone. Like they're still who they are, but you see them and they've turned into a glintstone straight up. And that's I forgot her name, but she turns it eventually. If you follow her quest line, she turns into that big head glintstone monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or people looking into eldritch truths of the world, or going too far into sorcery, and then becoming an actual rock, being mixed with natural resources is kind of cool. I like that.
Me too. I quite like that.
Yeah, that's just a cool storyline to kind of have it in your games.
Indeed, and he's the only guy who's really trying to figure out, the whole hollowing thing. What the fuck? He's everyone else is just oh fuck it, I guess I'm gonna die. At least Aldia wants to write about it and maybe be at least slightly helpful, maybe.
Yeah, sort of. His levels pretty fucked up.
His level's really fucked up.
That's a real fucked up place.
What's so fucked about it is that setting and that idea of a level could be my favorite level.
Oh yeah.
But it's just not. It just sucks.
That level is Mom, can we have Sun's Fortress? And Mom says, we have Sun's Fortress at home.
Pretty much.
Yep.
All right, Sarah Varg and the Grave Robber. I'm gonna admit it. I haven't beat these guys since the DLC originally came out.
Are they mandatory even?
No, they're in one of those weird little multiplayer, like optional dungeons.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I think those areas do have NPC summons as well, and I actually think they would probably be pretty fun.
Yeah, they
If you
work
summon.
sometimes.
I don't really remember fighting them though. I might have never fought them, so I can't really say.
I just remember it being kind of annoying, and at the end I was like, why did I do this?
That's super fair. Yeah.
Anyway, Alana, Squalid Queen. That's like a real worth talking about one.
Yeah. I think I'll put her in B. Actually, I like this fight.
I think as far as casters go, it's pretty close to being. It's very close. It's almost what do you call her from Elden Ring again?
Renala.
Yeah, it's almost. How funny. Her name is Alana. Alana Renala.
Yeah, and what's interesting, I mean, if you just put Fool's Idol and then Alana together, you have Renala
Yeah.
to fight.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. And only issue I think is she has like a little weird room. It like she kind of suffers from the Dark Souls 2 like strange what kind of room is this syndrome. Because I don't know. That's just like a me criticism, I guess.
I remember really liking her arena, but I don't really remember what it looks like.
I feel really awkward in there, but I guess maybe that's the
dude.
point.
Well, this place looks kind of sick, though.
It does look really cool, but it's just this
Oh, God,
wall.
you can see her face. Look at my screen.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my God. I feel even better about B tier. I knew something was right about this.
Okay,
Look
she
at
does
that.
look
Look at the background of that.
Yeah, I forgot how cool that mural is, or what is that, relief?
Shit. Yeah.
And like her face looks a lot cooler up close.
Oh yeah. Don't really get to see a lot of these.
That's actually
Enemies up
pretty
close.
awesome, dude.
Yeah. Oh God.
That's great, actually. Yeah, from
Can I-
afar, she just looks like any generic, like she looks like the generic guys from Caelid, but up close, that's actually quite nice.
Yeah. So that's quite the look.
It was quite the look. I also just have a bias against summoning bosses. It's just like not my cup of tea.
Oh, it's up my alley. I like it. I know she summons multiple things, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of like
That's-
a chance.
That's the thing too, is they come in as weird gold spirits that make it look very, very, very gamey in there and kind of hurt the aesthetic.
Oh yeah, they do. They have like a gold like shine to them.
Yeah, it looks
I
like
kind of like Elsat though. He kind of works better as a summoning
he does.
guy than his own thing.
That's true. Oh, B. I think B's fine.
All right, Sin, the slumbering dragon.
First time they really did a good dragon besides Calamite. I kind of want to put him in A, but I definitely like him more than the Squalid Queen.
He is close
I don't know if he's A.
to top 10 for me. If it wasn't for a certain Elden Ring dragon fight, he would be my favorite dragon fight in all of his games.
I mean, he's fun. He's like a genuinely fun dragon. He's a poison dragon. I think he's
Yes.
the only poison dragon besides the zombies.
There's most dragon fights. Dragon fights are really hard to do well, and I think a lot of them aren't. It's really easy to make a fight that's not very fun. That's a dragon fight, and from my memories of fighting him, I almost felt like he has the same. Like he is a dragon fight, but yet he maintains some of like the rhythm and he has animations like that the pursuer does.
Yes, that's
Like
one of the
he's
things that's
like
good.
it feels like you're constantly like there isn't like fucking Madeir. All I'm fucking doing is like running towards his head all the time.
Yeah, it's more like frantic, a little bit less planned.
Yeah, Sin feels very planned, very like orchestrated of a fight.
Yeah, like all's going to Kikaku when you beat him. So
Yeah, man, good fight. Really, really good fight. Really good dragon fight.
It's fun, nice and green, nice and Dark Souls 2 green.
The Dark Souls 2 green is a very special tone of green.
It really is. Whoever made this tier list knows what's up with their colors here. Other than Demon Souls, they kind of got it fucked. Anyway, it's Blue
Yeah,
Smelter Demon.
Blue Smelter Demon. I mean, I can't really say much. I mean, I can't not put him in the Smelter Demon tier of B.
Well,
I mean, you can be disappointed that he's basically the same exact guy. I don't even think he has other attacks.
well, here's the
I
problem.
mean, he must have some other attacks.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's I mean, you could argue that it's a good thing, like they really doubled down, like, but this is the kind of thing I don't want to see FromSoft double down on, is like a guy who looks like he's from World of Warcraft, and now we're just gonna do exactly the same thing from World of Warcraft, where we turn him blue, and now he's a different boss.
Right? Yeah, that's a good point.
It's like
I just
that's-
I do like fighting him, but yeah, the fact that he just shows up and he's blue and he's in the DLC is pretty weird.
and he's like in a weird side area, one of the multiplayer areas. That are basically just Kingsfield caves. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Meh.
Yeah. All right, time to talk about Fume Niegde.
A Fume Knight. Fume Knight.
Fume Knight's my homie.
Fume Knight's fucking great.
Yeah, I don't know how they make just like a big sword and small sword guy so fun and difficult, and just, man, I love that fight. That fight, like, every time I think, oh, maybe it won't fuck me up, it kind of fucks me up. Like, it's kind of, at least every time I played it, last time I remember playing it, it really kind of fucked me up. Sort of like Sister Free did in my most recent, like, Dark Souls 3 play. Like, I ran through every boss in that game, so that I actually had to fight Sister Free. I had to spend time to do it. Fume Knight kind of does that for me in Dark Souls 2. He's a real, like, I don't know, he should be easier than he is based off of his moveset, I feel like. I don't know what, I still haven't, like, I can't put it down, like, what makes him a challenge, what makes him so much fun to play. I don't know, maybe you have any ideas. You've played Dark Souls 2, I think, maybe a little more recently than I.
Yeah, Fume Knight is hard for me because he's a really, really fun fight. I think his design is it's all right. It's just serviceable, really.
Yeah, he doesn't have that good of a look.
No, and like I think this same fight with a more memorable character could have been a big deal. And it still is a big deal. It has those mechanics too, where you have to shut off the healing things on the outside, or it'll keep healing.
Yep. And I don't know if you knew this, if you have Velstat's head armor on, it puts them into phase 2 for the whole fight.
Are you fucking kidding me? I used to wear that. I don't remember. It was hard. It's a hard fight. He has lots of really good moves and he's fun, but I think this might also be one of the few fights where I really noticed the dark. I don't like to complain about the Dark Souls 2 hitboxes too much, because if you level ADP and dodge at the right time, it's not really a problem. But I definitely noticed it more with this guy for some reason.
His attacks, like,
Yeah, like it's
that what makes him, his movement's very unusual. Like his is like the arch of his swings, like vertical, like it's like way longer than you expect every time.
Well, and like he'll stab, but it's also like an area of effect like 2 feet to the side of his sword.
Yes. Which I think I think I understand what they're going for in a sense, because his sword has like flames on the outside of it, so it's like that's what's hitting you. But visually, they didn't really communicate that well enough, so it does look that can fit into like a Dark Souls 2 little hitboxes, little bad video.
And the only reason I even recognize his greatsword is because it's a really good greatsword that I used. But other than that, it's a very generic, not exciting addition to the large stone sword genre of swords.
Yeah,
I think
that's fair.
Anyway,
Sir Alone.
Now, Sir Alone, to me, is the real final boss
Ooh.
of that DLC.
I love this guy.
I really like Surlon. Like his the presentation, you know, his arena, his moves, just everything about him. He's just fucking awesome. If you kill him a certain way, he'll fucking kill himself.
Oh yeah, you just don't take any hits.
Is that how?
Yep.
Nice.
If you don't take a single hit from him, he kills himself.
Damn.
That's so good.
That's really good, dude. Yeah. Man.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's such. I mean, there's really. What's the fault? The arena, the reflection is just gorgeous.
Yes.
And like, I can't really think. There's not you get a lot of big dudes with swords, but not a lot of like medium-sized dudes with katanas.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of like. I mean, he's kind of like an early Sekiro boss. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely. And not just the Eastern theme, but also
not just
like
the
his
Eastern theme, but yeah, in terms of how he attacks and like his moves,
yes.
and how you deal with him too. Like it's a lot more like reactive than like, you know, where Fume Knight you're kind of like waiting to see certain moves and react accordingly. Surlon pushes it a little bit further into like you really have to just keep your eye very focused on what he's doing and react well.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's almost as good as a fight gets. I mean, S tier is basically like as good as a boss can be. My top 10 is just like some element pushes it even farther in my memory banks.
Yes. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, Surlon, he rules.
Yeah. Ava, the king's pet. Abba, the band.
Abba. That's what they sound like.
This is the one that's invisible, fucks you up, and then you come back when you like clear the ice or whatever, and then you fight him, and it's okay. Big animal fight.
Yeah, it's extremely mid. It's an animal fight. Can't really remember much about it. You just kill
I do
him.
like that it's invisible at one point.
That's cool. Yeah,
And like
that's
it
cool.
kind of like traps you in, or I actually don't think you get trapped. Like there's no fog wall, but you can still kill it if you really want to. And I think if you kill the king's pet without even getting rid of if you kill him like while he's invisible, I think he can just go straight to the end of the DLC.
Yeah, I think you can. Something
Yeah,
like that.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's alright. Dragon Rider. I actually like Dragon Rider better.
Wow.
I like Dragon Rider.
Put Dragon Rider in the same area. Dragon Rider is a very good. I mean, that could be the potential first boss. I think and it's a good fight for like a first boss.
Yeah.
I like the arena changes sizes. I like how a lot of these fights that we talk about, like I can at least point to like one level design or like one mechanic outside of the actual fight itself. That's interesting. Like, and that is a cool little mechanic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, he's a good first boss, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he really teaches you everything you need to know about, like, the combat you're going to be doing in this game.
Mhm.
I like him. I don't know. I think he's fine. Like, I kind of like that he's a generic guy. He's just like, it's Dragon Rider, get him. Anyway.
Get him.
Ludin Zalin, the king's pets.
I don't think I've ever gone through the whatever it's called, Forsaken Wasteland in Dark Souls 2 DLC. I don't think I've ever gone through that area.
Yeah,
People say it's terrible, so I'm not that interested in it, really.
Yeah, I think I got to the area that leads to that area, and there's those little porcupines, ice porcupines over there. And I was like, I don't want to see any more of these. I don't want to explore this area. So, that's fucked up. I should rate it, but... Okay.
I ain't fucking fight him.
Yeah, fuck that.
So,
Burn
yeah.
Ivory King.
Ooh.
Really cool.
It's S, baby.
It's S?
It's S. It's a S plus for me. It's S plus. I can't fucking help myself.
I want it to be S. It's just, it's got a little bit of that, like I said, the more kind of MMO feel to it that I'm not a huge fan of, but I do really like it on a mechanical level, and if I ignore the smaller details, it's probably an S.
I never fucking played a goddamn MMO. I don't know what MMO feel is. I just know what it's like to get up all my fucking knights, head into battle, take him down, that fucking entrance.
entrance is
when he like
great, dude.
walks
It's like,
through the
yeah.
portal of hell, it's like
it's cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
like that. Like I mean, obviously that's the biggest inspiration for Radon.
Yeah.
It's like it's the only time they've really done something like that. I love the mechanic of exploring the world, and the more you explore, the more you find, like more of these knights you find to like help you. I think that's awesome. That's
That
so
is
cool.
cool.
I love how they
Yeah.
drop down with you too, like they're your brothers.
Oh, you know what? That makes it an S. Yeah, right.
Brothers.
Brothers. Yeah, that's really great.
That gets me going.
Also, I really enjoy the feeling too of like I went there early with none of the knights, or maybe
yeah?
just one of them, and I personally really enjoyed the feeling of like going back every time I had another night to like. Give it
Oh,
another
that's
shot.
cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yes.
Hmm.
Old
Good
Dragon
fight.
Slayer.
I give Old Dragon a B. The fact that it's I mean it's Ornstein is kind of Ornstein is kind of weird.
I can't like I can never tell. It's like I have to like put on blindfold, like in order to like rate it higher than like a C. Like
Yeah, like it's just like it's a fun fight.
yeah, but like I can't like. It's why is it Ornstein? Like are they like why is it Ornstein? I don't get it. Like I don't.
I think it's kind of it's I don't know what they were thinking with that one really.
It's
Like what were they trying to do with like bringing up like an established character? I kind of like it's interesting to bring up like one of the final bosses, obviously Ornstein of Smoke, and then he's like in an early area of the game. He's like in the first level. You can actually fight him first if you want to.
Yeah, he feels like a premature ejaculation. He's weird.
I love his moveset though. It's a really fun fight. And that's what's keeping him. I mean, if it was like a different design, if it was like its own unique design, it could have even been in B. Especially for like an early fight, that's a really good early fight.
Yeah,
In
if
this Souls
there's,
game.
I mean, maybe there's some lore about why he's here, or if it is.
Mhm.
I seem to remember some debate about whether that's actually Ornstein or not.
I mean, I like the homoerotic tension that exists between a dragon rider and then an old dragon slayer.
That's true, dude.
Yeah, with tension. They're just on two different like towers from each other. They're like the neighbors in like Home Improvement.
Dude, the old dragon, the old dragon rider next door.
I would read that book.
Oh yeah,
I'd see that rom-com.
indeed. Well, I'm putting him in C.
Yeah, C's fair.
Alright.
Another C's coming up in me too.
Flexile Sentry.
Good fight.
I like Flexile Sentry.
It's almost a B, but there's a version there's a boss in Neo 2 that's kind of similar, but just infinitely cooler and better, more fun to fight.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's really awesome. That's a really good fight. Each side has like different elemental. So that fight in Neo 2, each side, like one side is like fire, one of them's ice, and there's different crystals like around the arena. If you attack them, like it gives you like a temporary like elemental buff. So you have to like and they switch sides, and then they have different move sets. They attack you with that like one elemental. You can use the buffs to like, but you have to change the buffs out when they switch sides, and it's a really cool fight.
Kind of. Okay.
I like that shit. I'm all about it. Flexile Sentry, you fight him on a sick ass pirate ship.
I like him a lot better than Velstadt, so I'm putting him in B.
Oh, that's a good point. I would rather fight Flexile Sentry than what's that? The Flexile Sentry's underrated.
Yeah, he's just like, it's not like it's like the boss that you spend all week on, or you know, I don't know, like think about every day and fall in love with and get married and have lizard children with. But it's a basic cool little guy in a pirate ship that is flooding, and he's a weird lizard man, and his fight is not too hard, not too easy. It's a perfect little early game fight. I don't know.
Yeah, They are most certainly a member of the working class.
Yes, exactly.
And for that reason, they're an honorable B tier.
Nice.
Belfry Gargoyles. Put them in C.
Yeah.
The fact that they even are named the same thing as the other, or the Bell and then the Belfry.
And it plays
Kinda
the
weird.
same music.
Yeah, it is the same music. It is a completely optional fight, but I like the fact that it's just like, what if the Belfry Gargoyles but 3, and then what if you can't kill, like if you kill them, they just respawn, so you have to continually fight them until the big health bar is over.
Yes.
And
Uh-huh.
I like that.
These guys are good in a way that a buffet is good.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe it's chicken nuggets, but you get a shit ton of them. So, if you like chicken nuggets, you're gonna like this.
Yeah, if you just enjoy fighting the gargoyles, enjoy their moveset, there's nothing to complain about, really. I mean, they're fun to fight, and they decided let's just put 3 of them and have a little bit of an interesting mechanic, but just
I think they're actually
not even
endlessly
shamelessly. Yeah, they are.
Damn.
Yeah, it's just it's a giant health pool of them.
I think it is actually somewhat shamed, though. I think they felt a little bad about it because it is hidden away behind like a few. Isn't it hidden away behind like a couple like complicated things and like a hidden wall and shit?
It's completely optional.
Like you would never run into it unless you really combed through that area.
I think you fight them in a place that you have to even use a special item to be able to access. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't even fight him this time. Like, I forgot.
Oh, really?
I just forgot.
Fair enough. Ruined Sentinels.
Ruined Sentinels. I like Ruined Sentinels.
I think they're underrated.
Yeah, I think they're solid B tier.
Yeah.
I think some people get mad because it's another. People get they get what's the word? Sorry.
Gank fight.
Yeah, gank fight. Exactly. People complain about all the quote-unquote gank fights in Dark Souls 2, but this is a really well-made gank fight, if that's what you want to call it. You get the option to kill one of them on the little ledge, but it's like risk-reward, you're on a little ledge, it's harder, and if you kill them fast enough, then you only have to fight 2, and their moves are very well tailored to having to fight multiple of them, so
yeah,
it's fun.
And if you kill the one while it's on the ledge, another one will jump up on the ledge if you're still on the ledge.
Yeah, there's lots of good edging techniques you could use for this fight.
Ruined Sentinels, they teach you how to edge.
Exactly, and for that, it's at least B.
Yes, absolutely. And their look is underrated.
Yeah, I think they look cool. Like, as far as Dark Souls 2 designs go, I think it's fun. Like, I love the frog mouth helmet. I like the weird gold. I like how they're like kind of skinny and spindly.
Yeah.
They're fun.
It's good stuff.
Indeed.
Lost Sinner. This is another, for me, an A tier fight. Honestly.
Yeah, I want to put it in A. I like it better than Ruined Sentinels. But I don't know if I don't like it as much as Fume Knight. Or maybe I do. I don't know.
Lost Sinner, I mean, obviously it's not as challenging as Fume Knight, but I love the look of...
The look is great, and the
look of her is great. I love the intro cutscene of like the bug entering her like helmet, and that's like what takes control of her in a sense.
And the lighting
like
mechanics too.
Yeah,
cool.
and in the New Game Plus there's 2 fucking Red Phantom Firemancers that spawn in her arena, and they just like knock the living shit out of you.
Dude, Dark Souls 2 New Game Plus is so fucking... It's
so
fun.
good.
It's so fun. Yeah, like if you're the kind of person who likes extra stuff in your fights, you're gonna be gamer raging all over it. But if you want to hop into a boss fight that you've fought 10 million times and have something different happen, it's perfect.
Yeah, and that's such a wonderful surprise, because I mean, it's a bummer. Like it's a little bit of a bummer in a lot of these games. Going into New Game Plus, Elden Ring is probably like maybe the worst New Game Plus besides Dark Souls 3, but just because like going into it feels flat, and you're over. Like if you went through the end game of Elden Ring, you're too powerful for the beginning of New Game Plus.
Yeah,
In
like
Elden Ring, which is super strange. Dark Souls 2 really has like that difficulty curve continues like just almost like perfectly New Game Plus, in my opinion. Like they really like if they make New Game Plus, they design it in a way where it's like if you're the type of person that loves this game enough to keep playing it into New Game Plus, you're gonna have a great time and you're gonna feel really fulfilled. You get new items, new placements, like different rings. Bosses give you different boss souls to make more boss weapons with. It's really awesome.
exactly. Dark Souls 2 has the best New Game Plus.
Absolutely.
Yes. Correct.
And Lost Sinner is a great boss.
Who?
Lost Sinner.
Oh,
Great
duh,
boss.
that's what we were talking about. Okay, we got
Royal Rat Vanguard.
what a fight to leave it off on, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
S+.
I like these little guys.
I like him. It's so
I like-
silly.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know, that's the thing I don't get. Like if it's one, it's funny. Two, it's not like a very challenging fight at all.
No.
So it happens, and it doesn't even. I wouldn't necessarily say. I mean, it kind of fits the area too. Actually, I mean, you're in the Rat Kingdom.
You're in the Rat Kingdom. You fight the.
Fights are kind of fucked.
Yeah, dude. It's Ratland. Welcome to Ratland. The theme is rats. Fight some rats. What's not to like? I mean, if you like rats, you'll. It's another buffet option, you know. If instead of chicken nuggets, you're into rats. This is for you.
Yeah, and I love. I don't know if I've read an interview of him saying this, but Miyazaki really loves his rats. Even though he only like produced or co-produced Dark Souls 2, but I like how one of the like this is something like in all the games like rats have a like small percentage chance of dropping like the humanity, the rune arc. I think that's really cool, and just the fact that there's this like Rat Kingdom underground and they're pretty fucking chill actually, but they also have some weird shit, some weird ass fights and weird levels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it's cool.
I love it. Like, I like that they've tried to do some creative multiplayer stuff. Like, it didn't really turn out super well, but
Oh, that would be the absolute shit though. Like Ascend's Fortress, like PvP.
if it worked,
area.
yeah, it would be
Well, if
fucking
it
awesome.
worked. They tried. They tried.
I
They tried to
thought-
make like instead of FromSoft making the wacky World of Terror, they're like, let's let the players make it wacky, and it kind of didn't work.
Yeah, pretty much. Because the players, you know, they're just gonna backstab you or kick you off a cliff, or, you know, there's already a lot of ways to sneakily kill people, and usually if you activate a giant trap, they'll see it coming from a mile away. So there's got to be some other kind of way to design this so that it works, and it just didn't work out. But Royal Rats,
Royal Rats.
there they are.
Did you put them in B or C?
Put them in C.
C. Okay, me too.
I almost put them in B for the shit of it, but
Like, can I get a tattoo of the Mohawk Rat?
yeah, like that's like it's just like I love like part of the fun of it was the mystery too. People like how the fuck does this fight work? Sometimes I hit them and it does damage, sometimes it doesn't, and it's like this mystery whose answer is just like one of the rats has a mohawk. It's not.
That's the solution to the puzzle.
Yeah,
of the fight.
get the one with a mohawk. It's fun.
Yep.